are of course concerned about what is now firmly established as the corrupt culture of Walmart in Mexico, and whether or not there were $20 million plus bribes to open stores in Mexico. I know you and I are concerned about whether or not that same culture may have infected their operations in trying to open up India as well, given the backdrop of corruption in so many other areas.
We had our concerns that Walmart will threaten the livelihoods. When we heard the case of Mexico, we saw that Walmart started its operations in 1990s in Mexico. In just 2 decades, we are amazed to see that it has captured almost half of the trade of the country. And these alleged bribery allegations on Walmart, that they bribed authorities to open stores so quickly, so aggressively.
The permit process was dollars for permits.
Yeah,
exactly.
So this only consolidates our concerns that if it is not well protected, if it is not well regulated, Walmart can ruin our culture, our economy, our livelihood in years. So we are very much concerned on what is revealed in Mexico, and we also know that there are allegations in US and there are inquiries going on against Walmart in US, and we do have apprehensions that if they can do it in Mexico, if they can do it in other part of the world, maybe they are doing the same thing in India. So we are demanding.
China as well. I mean, recent stories about Chinese corruption. I mean, this is, when you have a culture like that, it's easy to breed an infection. You've started a petition drive, I think.
Yeah. So we have a petition which is going to be submitted to the Indian Prime Minister, demanding an inquiry into the Walmart's practices in India and making sure that there are strict regulations for their future expansion. So these petitions are being signed by noted people and environmentalists and civil society organizations and movements and stakeholders organizations, including traders, cooperatives, consumers forums, hawkers.
And we want to
have a large number of people and organizations now demanding an inquiry from the Prime Minister to make sure that Walmart does not violate law of US or India.
And we want to make sure that people go on the India FDI Watch website, indiafdiwatch.org, or the ACORN International website, acorninternational.org, to get a copy of this petition. And as many people sign it as possible, we'll include it in what goes to the Prime Minister, because we have to make sure there's a deep inquiry here. But over the years, even if the government succeeds in bringing some form of this policy up, and it may be an important issue what the percentage of allowable investment might be. Right now it's 0. The government had proposed over 51% earlier. Our hope is to try to hold that as close to 0 as possible, to give state governments even more of a hand, and to continue to propose protective regulations here even as this moves forward. So this will be something that we'll have to update people at a regular basis for years to come, I think.
Yeah, I think even if the Walmart is allowed to do retail, we still have our work to make sure that they are not violating the laws of this country.
So anything else we want to add here? This has been great.
Yeah, we have challenges in future on both fronts, on the front of Walmart as well as to ensure the basic fundamental constitutional rights for the people with whom we work, and in recent times there had been some policy wins, as we can proudly say it, and there are now a process going on within the government to regulate or formalize or to acknowledge rickshaw pullers, rag pickers, street vendors, but this process is still weak. But we are happy that we also played our role in initiating these processes, and the challenge for future will be to make sure that these processes go to its logical culmination, and we have a strict act which protects the rights of our members, including rickshaw pullers, street vendors, rag pickers. So we will keep working on.
You haven't mentioned, I think we played a role in the expansion of ration cards to people, which was a big issue as well over recent years, was it not?
Yeah, there is a debate and there is a draft bill in the parliament. It's called Food Security Bill. So the bill basically aims to widen the coverage of ration card, that is subsidized food. So there is a category of below poverty line and above poverty line. So we had been saying that this category is bogus. The line is very low. The people who have been termed above poverty line are also the people who cannot feed 2 times in a day. So this is ridiculous, and the rich automatically will not take advantage of subsidized food, because the process makes sure that each keeps itself aloof from that long queue. And that has worked in some states, like in Tamil Nadu. We do not have such category. So the subsidized food is universalized. Whosoever wants food at cheap prices can get it. And this is working at a state level. So we are demanding a universal food security for everybody.
And food security is very important. The above poverty line figure we were talking about is less than $1 a day.
Yeah,
a lot less,
half
less than 50 cents US a day. So to talk about that small amount of money as a total income being
not poor,
APL, above poverty line, is
ridiculous.
So we have to work and fight so hard here to get basic human rights protected, but that's part of what our work is about.
Yeah, this is all about making sure that constitutional rights that have been granted by our nation makers.
Exactly.
And fighting for the basic amenities and rights.
Because one of the problems that ration cards involve is not having an address. So for a lot of slum dwellers without a fixed address, they were having trouble getting ration cards, correct?
Yeah, undocumented workers. That's a part of our problem.
And part of what we opened up a year or so ago was an ability for more of them to get ration cards.
Yeah.
So